You know what's harder than walking away from everything? Coming back. Not to the same place, you can never go back there, but to the people you left behind, to the silence you created, to the words you said that you can't unsay. James is thinking about his father. He's standing in the small kitchen, watching his mother-in-law teach him how to make jam the way her grandmother taught her, and he's thinking about the man who cut him off 2 years ago. The man who said, "Choose her and you're dead to me." The man James hasn't spoken to since. 2.5 cups of sugar, Diep's mother says, measuring carefully. Not 2, not 3, exactly 2.5. That's the secret. James writes it down. His notebook is filling up with these small secrets: how long to stir, when to add the fruit, how to tell when it's ready. Things passed down through generations. Things his own family never taught him because his family was too busy building empires to make jam. Your father, Diep's mother says suddenly, not looking at him. Does he know? About the factory? James's hand stills on the page. No. Maybe you should tell him. It's not a suggestion, it's a challenge. Coming from the woman who abandoned her own daughter and spent the last week trying to earn her way back in, James looks at her properly now. She's stirring the pot, keeping her eyes on the golden liquid, but her shoulders are tense, waiting for his response. He doesn't want to hear from me, James says finally. You don't know that. He told me I was dead to him. People say things. Her voice is quiet. When they're hurt, when they're angry, when their pride is bigger than their sense. She glances at him. I left my daughter because I thought she was making a mistake. Your father cut you off because he thought the same thing. We were both wrong. James sets down his pen. It's different. Is it? She turns to face him fully now. I spent over a year regretting what I said, every single day. You think your father doesn't do the same? My father doesn't regret anything. You sure about that? Her eyes are sharp. Not unkind, but uncompromising. Or are you just more comfortable believing it? The words hit harder than James expects. He opens his mouth, closes it, doesn't know what to say. Diep appears in the doorway. The jam's going to burn if you don't stir it. Her mother jumps, turns back to the pot. Stirs quickly. Crisis averted. But the question hangs in the air between them, heavy and unresolved. That night, after Nie's asleep, James lies awake beside Diep. Your mother thinks I should contact my father. Diep's quiet for a moment. What do you think? I think he doesn't deserve it. Maybe not. Diep's voice is soft in the darkness. But do you deserve to spend the rest of your life wondering what if? James doesn't answer. Can't answer. Because she's right. And he hates that she's right. The next morning, James helps at the factory. It's running smoothly now. The workers trained, the machine's humming, orders coming in. Tung meets him at the gate, grinning. Boss, we got 3 new orders overnight. One from Hanoi. They want 200 units. 200? James blinks. Can we handle that? If we add another shift, yeah. Tung's practically bouncing. James, man, we're actually doing it. The factory's working. James should feel triumphant. This is what he's been building toward. Proof that he didn't need his father's company. Proof that he could make it on his own. But all he feels is tired. And strangely hollow. You okay? Tung asks. You look like someone died. I'm fine. You're a terrible liar. Tung leans against the wall. What's eating you? James hesitates. Then, if you had a chance to fix something with your family, something broken, would you take it? Even if you weren't sure they wanted it fixed? Tung's quiet for a long moment. My dad died 3 years ago, he says finally. Heart attack. Last thing I said to him was, he stops. Starts again. We had a fight. About money. Stupid stuff. And I didn't call him back because I was angry. And then he died. Tung looks at James. I'd give anything for another chance. Even if he was still angry. Even if he hung up on me. Just to try. James feels something crack open in his chest. I'm sorry. Yeah. Tung pushes off the wall. Me too. Don't be like me, James. Don't wait until it's too late. That evening, James sits at the small table in the house and stares at his phone. Diep is putting Nie to bed. Her mother is washing dishes. The house is quiet, except for the sound of running water and Nie's sleepy chatter from the other room. His father's number is still in his contacts. He never deleted it. Couldn't bring himself to, even after everything. His thumb hovers over the call button. What would he even say? "Hi, Dad, it's me, the son you disowned. Just calling to chat." "No. I built a factory. It's working. You were wrong about me. Too defensive. I miss you. Too vulnerable. Too true. You're thinking too hard." Diep's mother sits down across from him. She's drying her hands on a towel, watching him with those sharp eyes that see everything. "Just call him. It's not that simple." It never is." She sets down the towel. "When I knocked on Diep's door last week, I stood there for 10 minutes, just standing, trying to figure out what to say. And then I realized there's no right words. There's just showing up. And if he doesn't want me to show up, then at least you'll know." Her voice is firm. "Better to know than to spend the rest of your life wondering." James looks at his phone again, the number staring back at him. 2 years of silence condensed into 10 digits. He takes a breath. Presses call. It rings once, twice, 3 times. James's heart is hammering so hard he can hear it in his ears. 4 rings. 5. He's about to hang up when, "Hello?" His father's voice, older than James remembers, tired. James's throat closes up. Can't speak, can't breathe. "Hello?" his father repeats. Sharper now. "Who is this?" James forces the words out. "Dad, it's me. It's James." Silence, long and heavy and suffocating. Then, James. Not a question, just his name, spoken like a fact. Like something his father hasn't said out loud in 2 years, and is testing the shape of it in his mouth. "Yeah." James's voice cracks. "It's me." More silence. James can hear his father breathing on the other end. Can imagine him standing wherever he is. His father's office, probably. Late evening. Still working. Always working. "Why are you calling?" his father asks finally. And that's the question, isn't it? Why is James calling? What does he want? Forgiveness? Reconciliation? Just to hear his father's voice? All of it. None of it. Something he can't name. "I built something," James says, the words tumbling out before he can stop them. "A factory. Woodworking. It's working. We're getting orders. Making a profit. I did it, Dad. Without your help. Without your company. I actually did it." He sounds like a child seeking approval. He hates it, but he can't stop. His father is quiet. Then, where? 2 provinces over. By the highway. Small operation, but growing. "You're managing it yourself?" "With a partner." Tongue. He's good. Knows the business. Another pause. "And your family?" "Diep? The child?" "Nee. Her name is Nee." James's voice hardens slightly. "She's 7. Smart. Beautiful. You'd like her." "Would I?" His father's tone is unreadable. James doesn't know how to respond to that. They're dancing around something, circling each other like boxers in a ring, neither willing to throw the first real punch. "I don't know why I called," James admits. Someone told me I should. Before it's too late." "Too late for what?" "I don't know." "That either." His father makes a sound. Not quite a laugh, not quite a sigh. "You never did know what you wanted, James. That was always your problem. Always chasing something you couldn't name." It stings. But it's also true. In a way, James doesn't want to examine too closely. "Maybe," James says. "Or maybe I knew exactly what I wanted, and you just didn't like it." The words hang between them, a challenge, an accusation. 2 years of hurt compressed into one sentence. "I wanted what was best for you," his father says finally, low and rough. "You wanted me to be you, and that would have been so terrible?" "Yes." James's voice breaks. "Because I'm not you, Dad. I never was, and I'm tired of apologizing for it." Silence again. James can hear his own breathing. Can hear Diep moving in the other room. Can hear his heart pounding. "The factory," his father says abruptly. "What kind of wood do you use?" The question catches James off guard. "What?" "The wood. What kind? Where do you source it?" "Local suppliers, mostly. Some imports from. Why does it matter?" "It matters." His father's voice is clipped, businesslike. The tone James grew up with. If you're serious about expanding, you need better supply chains. Cheaper materials. I know people. Could make introductions. James's breath catches. You'd do that? I didn't say that. His father's tone softens. Just slightly. Just enough. I said I could, if you wanted. And there it is, the olive branch. Small, thorny, offered with no guarantees. But offered. I'd want that, James says quietly. Yeah, I'd want that. Here's what nobody tells you about forgiveness. It doesn't arrive like thunder. It comes in small moments. A phone call that doesn't end in shouting. A question about wood suppliers. A father's voice saying, I could help, instead of, I told you so. James hangs up and sits there, staring at his phone like it might explain what just happened. Well? Diep's mother is still sitting across from him, waiting. He didn't hang up. James sounds dazed. I thought he'd hang up, or yell, or something. But we talked. About the factory, about wood suppliers. He looks up at her. He offered to help. Her mother's face softens. See? People surprise you. When you give them the chance. Diep appears in the doorway, Ni already asleep in the other room. She looks at James's expression and knows immediately. You called him. I called him. And? James reaches for her hand, pulls her down to sit beside him. And I think maybe it's not too late. For us. For him and me. Diep's mother stands quietly. I'll give you two some privacy. She slips away, leaving them alone. Diep leans against James's shoulder. How do you feel? Terrified. James laughs shakily. Like I just jumped off a cliff and I'm still falling. Don't know if there's water at the bottom or rocks. But you jumped. Yeah. He kisses the top of her head. I jumped. They sit together in the quiet house. Outside, the night is full of cricket sounds and distant dogs barking. Inside, something has shifted. Something that can't be undone. The next morning, James wakes to find a text from his father. Sent at 6 a.m., formal and brief. Supplier contact in Da Nang. Tan Nguyen. Tell him I sent you. He'll give you a good price. Below that, a phone number. James stares at it for a full minute. His father helping him. Actually helping. Not with money, his father knows James would refuse that. But with connections. With the kind of practical support that means, I'm paying attention. I care about what you're building. Is that from him? Diep asks, still half asleep. Yeah. James shows her the message. She reads it, then looks at him. You're going to call the supplier? I think so. Maybe. He sets the phone down. Is it wrong that I'm scared to accept his help? Like if I do, it proves I couldn't make it on my own? You did make it on your own. Diep's voice is firm. You built the factory. You got it running. You made it profitable. Taking help now doesn't erase that. It just means, she pauses. It just means you're letting him back in. One door at a time. One door at a time. James likes that. It feels manageable. Not flinging the gates wide open. Just cracking one door. Seeing what happens. At breakfast, Ni asks why James looks happy. You keep smiling at your phone, Dad. James hadn't realized he was smiling. I talked to someone yesterday. Someone I hadn't talked to in a long time. Who? James glances at Diep. She nods slightly. Permission. Your grandfather, James says carefully. My father. Ah, Ni's eyes go wide. I have another grandpa? You do. Where is he? In the city, far away. Can I meet him? Ni asks it so simply, like it's the most obvious question in the world. Grandma came to meet me. Can Grandpa come too? James's throat tightens, out of the mouths of children. Maybe someday, sweetheart. But not yet, Diep adds gently. Grandpa and Dad need to talk more first. Grown-up stuff. Ni accepts this with a shrug and goes back to her breakfast. But the question plants itself in James's mind. Can Grandpa come too? Could he? Would he? Does James even want that? Later that morning, James calls the supplier his father recommended. Tan Nguyen answers on the third ring, his voice gruff but not unfriendly. Yes? Mr. Nguyen? My name is James. My father gave me your number. He said you might be able to help with wood supplies. A pause. Your father being? James takes a breath. Duc Tran. The name hangs in the air. His father's name. The name that opens doors and commands respect and comes with weight. James has been trying to escape for 2 years. Tan's voice changes. Warmer now. Interested. Duke's son. He called me last night. Said you're running a woodworking operation. Need better pricing on materials. That's right. Come see me tomorrow. Bring your current invoices. I'll see what I can do. He rattles off an address. 10 a.m. Don't be late. James barely has time to thank him before Tan hangs up. It's happening. Actually happening. His father reaching out through his network, pulling strings, making James's life easier. The irony isn't lost on James. He left to prove he didn't need his father's help, and here he is, accepting it anyway. But it feels different now. Not charity, not control, just support. The kind of support families are supposed to give each other. That afternoon, Diep's mother finds James in the yard, staring at nothing. You're thinking too hard again. It's a habit. She sits beside him on the step. Your father. You're worried about accepting his help. How did you? Because I spent the last week watching Diep struggle with the same thing. With me. Her voice is quiet, wondering if accepting my help meant forgiving me. If forgiving me meant forgetting what I did. James looks at her. And what did you tell her? I told her the truth. That accepting help is not the same as erasing the past. That you can move forward without pretending the hurt never happened. She meets his eyes. Your father hurt you. He said terrible things. But he's trying now, just like I am. The question isn't whether he deserves forgiveness. It's whether you deserve peace. Do I? That's not for me to answer. She stands, brushes off her pants. But I know this. Holding on to anger is like holding on to hot coal. You're the one who gets burned. She goes back inside, leaving James alone with his thoughts. That night, James calls his father again. This time, it's easier. The number less frightening, the rings less loaded. James. His father answers quickly, like he's been waiting. I called your supplier, Tan. He said to come tomorrow. He's good people. Fair prices. You'll like him. Thank you for the introduction. A pause. How's the factory? Really? James tells him. About the orders, the workers, the challenges with machine maintenance, the struggle to balance quality with speed. His father listens, asks good questions, offers advice that actually helps. They talk for 20 minutes, then 30, then an hour. And somewhere in that hour, James realizes they're not talking about the factory anymore. They're talking about life, about Diep and Ni, about the small house and the leaky roof and the jam business that's taking off, about all the small, ordinary things that make up a life. She sounds happy, his father says. About Diep. Your wife. She is, most days. And you? James considers this. Yeah, I am. It's not what I expected. It's harder, and smaller, and messier. But it's mine. Ours. And that matters. His father is quiet for a long moment. Then, I was wrong. About her. About you. The words land like stones in still water, rippling outward. I thought, his father continues, voice rough, that you were throwing your life away, that she'd drag you down, that you'd regret it. He exhales slowly. I was wrong. James's eyes are burning. Dad, let me finish. His father's voice firms up. I cut you off because I was angry and scared and too proud to admit I might be wrong. And I've spent 2 years regretting it. Every single day. Wondering if you were okay. If you hated me. If I'd lost you forever. I didn't hate you, James says quietly. I was angry, but I never hated you. I wouldn't have blamed you if you did. They sit in silence, two men connected by a phone line, and years of hurt and something fragile and new trying to grow between them. I'd like to meet her, his father says finally. Your wife, and Ni. If you'd let me. James's breath catches. You want to come here? If you'll have me. His father sounds uncertain, vulnerable in a way James has never heard before. I know I don't deserve it, but I'm asking anyway. James thinks about Nie's question this morning. Can Grandpa come too? Thinks about Diep's mother, building bridges one jar of jam at a time. Thinks about forgiveness arriving in small moments, not grand gestures. Okay, James says. Come. Meet them. Meet us. When? Give me a week. Let me talk to Diep. Prepare Nie. James pauses. And Dad? Don't bring gifts. Don't try to impress anyone. Just come as you are. That's all we need. His father's voice cracks slightly. I can do that. After they hang up, James sits in the dark, feeling like he's just run a marathon. Exhausted and exhilarated at once. Diep finds him there, sits beside him, takes his hand. He's coming, James says. My father. He wants to meet you. And Nie. Diep squeezes his hand. Are you ready for that? No. James laughs shakily. But I don't think I'll ever be ready. So might as well do it anyway. Might as well. They sit together, two people who chose love over comfort, watching the night settle around their small house. Inside, Diep's mother is singing softly to Nie, teaching her an old lullaby. Outside, the world keeps turning. And somewhere between the hurt and the healing, James feels something shift. Not forgiveness yet. Not fully, but the beginning of it. The first green shoots pushing through hard ground. It's enough. For now, it's enough. A week can feel like forever when you're waiting for something that might change everything. James tells Nie first. Sits her down after breakfast while Diep and her mother are sorting fruit in the kitchen. Remember when I told you about your grandfather? My father? Nie nods, suddenly serious. The one you talked to on the phone? He wants to come visit. To meet you. James watches her face carefully. How do you feel about that? Nie thinks about this, her forehead scrunching the way it does when she's concentrating. Is he nice? He can be. But he's also, James searches for the right words. He's not like Grandma. He's more quiet, more serious. He might seem scary at first, but he's not. He just doesn't always know how to show his feelings. Like you? Nie says matter-of-factly. James blinks. What? Mum says you're bad at showing feelings too. But I know you love us, because you work hard and you call every night, and you bring me presents. She grins. So Grandpa's like you. Got it. Out of the mouths of children. James pulls her into a hug. Yeah, sweetheart, he's like me. The week passes in preparation. Not the elaborate kind, no fancy meals or decorations, just the ordinary work of making space for someone new. Diep's mother helps, offering advice in that gentle way she has now. Don't try too hard, she says, while they're making jam. Just be yourselves, that's what matters. James's father arrives on a Sunday morning. Not in the expensive car James expected, but in a simple sedan, dusty from the drive. He's dressed casually, more casual than James has ever seen him. No suit, just slacks and a plain shirt. Like he took James's words seriously. Come as you are. James meets him at the road. They stand there for a moment, father and son, 2 years of silence between them. You came, James says. You invited me. His father's voice is gruff, uncertain. They don't hug. Not yet. But his father's hand comes up, grips James's shoulder briefly. It's enough. Inside, Diep is waiting. She's nervous. James can see it in the way she's smoothed her hair 3 times, the way she's wiping her hands on her apron. His father stops in the doorway, takes her in. This woman, his son, chose over everything. Sir, Diep says quietly. Welcome to our home. Mrs. Tran. His father's voice is formal, but his eyes are kind. Thank you for having me, and please call me Duck. Sir makes me feel old. Diep smiles slightly. Duck, then. Then Nie appears, curious and fearless the way children are. She walks right up to this tall man and stares at him. You're my grandpa? James's father crouches down, bringing himself to her eye level. His face softens in a way James hasn't seen in years. I am. And you must be nigh. I am. She's studying him carefully. You look like Dad, but older. Eh? His father laughs. Actually laughs. I suppose I do. Did you bring presents? Ni. Diep starts to scold, but James's father waves it off. Your father told me not to. Said just to come as myself. He looks at Ni seriously. So, I didn't bring presents, but I brought something better. Want to see? Ni nods eagerly. James's father reaches into his pocket and pulls out a photograph. Old, faded, creased from being carried around. He hands it to Ni. That's your father when he was about your age. 7 years old. See? Ni takes the photo carefully, examining it. Dad? You were so small. James looks over her shoulder at the photo he hasn't seen in decades. Himself at 7, gap-toothed and grinning, holding up a toy car. His father beside him in the picture, younger, smiling. Before everything got complicated, I carry it with me, his father says quietly, meeting James's eyes. Always have. Even when we weren't talking. Something in James's chest cracks open. Dad. But his father is already standing, turning to meet Diep's mother, who's appeared from the kitchen. They look at each other, these two parents who both failed their children in different ways and are both trying to earn their way back. Ma'am, James's father says, inclining his head respectfully. Duke. Diep's mother nods back. Then, softer. Would you like some tea? I would. Thank you. And they gather around the small table. 5 people now instead of 4. Tight fit, but manageable. Diep serves tea, while Ni chatters about school, about making jam, about everything and nothing. James's father listens like every word matters. Asks questions. Nods seriously when Ni explains the intricacies of 7-year-old social dynamics. After tea, James shows his father around. The small house, the kitchen where they make jam, the yard where Ni plays. His father takes it all in without judgment. Without the criticism James expected. It's good, his father says finally, standing in the doorway looking out at the simple life James has built. Small, but good. Honest. It's not what you wanted for me. No, his father turns to look at him. But it's what you wanted. And you're happy. That's what I should have wanted all along. They stand together in comfortable silence. Then, his father speaks again. The supplier. Tan. You met with him? Yesterday. He's cutting my material costs by 30%. Good. That's good. His father pauses. I have other contacts. If you need them. Not trying to control anything. Just, if you want help, I'm here. I know. James meets his father's eyes. And I'm grateful. Really? His father nods. Looks like he wants to say more but doesn't know how. Finally, I'm proud of you, James. I should have said it before, but I'm saying it now. What you've built, the factory, this life, your family. I'm proud. James's eyes burn. Thank you, Dad. At lunch, they all sit together. The meal is simple rice, vegetables, fish, and fresh jam on warm bread. Nothing fancy, but James's father eats like it's the best meal he's had in years. Compliments every dish. Thanks Diep and her mother for their work. After lunch, Ni asks if Grandpa wants to see her drawings. James's father says yes immediately. Follows her to the corner where she keeps her papers and crayons. Sits on the floor, this man who runs a company, who commands rooms, sitting on the floor to look at crayon drawings. Ni shows him each one, explaining the stories behind them. This is our house. That's Mom and Dad. That's Grandma. And that, she points to a blank space. That's where you go. Now that you're here. James's father stares at the drawing. At the space Ni left for him. You left room for me? Of course. Ni says it like it's obvious. Your family. His father's hand trembles slightly as he touches the paper. Can I keep this when I go home? Yes. Ni beams. I'll draw you in first. So you're really there. She picks up a crayon and carefully draws a tall figure in the blank space. Labels it Grandpa in crooked letters, hands it to him solemnly. James watches his father take the drawing, fold it carefully, put it in his pocket right next to the old photograph. Watches his father's throat work as he swallows hard. "Thank you, Nee," his father says quietly. "This is the best gift I've ever received." Late afternoon, James and his father walk together. Just the two of them, following the path to the forest where Diep picks fruit. They don't talk much, don't need to, but halfway there, his father stops. "I owe you an apology," he says abruptly. "A real one. Not just I was wrong. I owe you." He stops. Starts again. "I said terrible things when you told me you wanted to marry Diep. Called her a gold digger. Called you a fool. Told you that you were throwing your life away. And then when you married her anyway, I cut you off. Told you you were dead to me." His voice breaks. "That was unforgivable, James, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." James's throat is tight. "You were scared. You thought I was making a mistake. I was wrong to let fear make me cruel." His father looks at him directly. "Diep she's remarkable. Strong and kind, and exactly the kind of partner you needed. And Nee," his voice softens, "that little girl in there is perfect. And I almost missed knowing her because I was too proud to admit I was wrong. But you're here now," James says. "That's what matters." "Is it enough?" His father's voice is raw. "Can you forgive me? Not right now, maybe, but eventually?" James thinks about the last 2 years, the anger and hurt and stubborn pride on both sides. Thinks about Diep's mother showing up with nothing but an apology and the willingness to try. Thinks about Nee leaving a space in her drawing for a grandfather she'd never met, because family means leaving room for people to come back. "I can try," James says finally. "I am trying. That's all I can promise right now." His father nods. "That's more than I deserve. Thank you." They walk back together as the sun starts to set. At the house, Diep and her mother have dinner ready. They eat together, all 5 of them, conversation flowing easier now. Nee tells jokes. The adults laugh. James's father asks about the jam business, and Diep's mother explains their plans to expand. "You should come to the market with us sometime," Diep's mother says to James's father. "See how it works." "I'd like that." He sounds like he means it. After dinner, as the night settles in, James's father prepares to leave. "I should get back. Long drive." "You could stay," Diep offers. "It's late, the roads." "I'll be fine." He smiles. "But thank you. For everything. For letting me in." At the door, Nee hugs him fiercely. "Come back soon, Grandpa." "I will, sweetheart. I promise." He shakes Diep's hand, thanks her mother, then turns to James. For a moment, they just look at each other. Then, awkwardly but genuine, they hug. Brief and tight, and full of everything they can't say yet. "Drive safe, Dad." "I will." "And James?" His father pauses at the car. "Call me. Anytime. About anything. I'll answer." "I know." They watch him drive away, tail lights disappearing into the darkness. Nee yawns, leans against James's leg. "I like Grandpa." "Me too, sweetheart." Inside, Diep takes James's hand. "How do you feel?" "Lighter." James realizes it's true, like I've been carrying something heavy, and I finally put it down. "Good." She squeezes his hand. "That's good." That night, lying in bed, James thinks about bridges. How they're built slowly, board by board. How they require both sides to meet in the middle. How sometimes you have to walk across not knowing if it'll hold. His father is trying. James is trying. That's enough for now. In the darkness, Diep's voice comes soft. "You did a brave thing today, letting him in. So did you. With your mother, I guess we're both learning." She moves closer. How to forgive, how to let people come back, how to be family even when it's hard. "Especially when it's hard," James agrees. Outside, the night is quiet. Inside, the small house holds 5 people now, 4 asleep and 1 lying awake. Thinking about second chances and the long road to forgiveness, and how sometimes the best thing you can give someone is the space to try again, James closes his eyes. Tomorrow he'll call his father. They'll talk about the factory, about wood suppliers, about ordinary things. And slowly, conversation by conversation, they'll rebuild what was broken. It won't be perfect. There will be awkward moments and old hurts that resurface. But they'll keep trying. That's what family does. They keep trying. In the darkness, James smiles. Then finally, peacefully, he sleeps.